Look.
Are you going to edit this, or do we have to just have perfection? Because we're in trouble.
You'll be fine. Trust me. Matthias is great. We have a lot of fun doing this. Today, we have a very special guest. We have the first female president of Shenandoah University since its founding in 1875, holding degrees in politics, political science, and Latin American studies from Princeton and Stanford University, President Tracy Fitzsimmons. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Or good morning, I guess it is.
We'll do it one more time.
I was like, I'm getting used to your stage voice.
We are riot.
When you said, welcome, I thought I should say, well, thank you.
You're like, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Look.
Do I need a stage voice too? Do I need a stage voice?
Look, whatever you need. But this is going to be a riot.
I need Alyssa's vocal pedagogy coaching.
Look. Okay, I'm going to start again.
I'm delighted to be here.
You ready? Today, I am excited to have a very special guest with us. We have the first female president of Shenandoah University since its founding in 1875, holding degrees in politics, political science, and Latin American studies from Princeton and Stanford University. We have President Tracy Fitzsimmons. Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. I'm glad to be here with you.
I can't believe we were able to find this time, and here we are.
I know, you were busy.
No,
I'm glad we could fit it in your schedule. No. And here we are on the stage. It's so exciting for me to be on a stage at Shenandoah University. I don't have any of the talents that our conservatory faculty and students have. So usually I'm down there getting to support them, and I love it. They're just extraordinary. They're enchanting and so professional, but getting to be up here and getting to be interviewed by you is really exciting.
Well, welcome. Can you help us unpack what it means to be the president of a university?
Oh, I think it is the best job ever. I love education. I believe deeply in the transformative power of education, so I get to be around that and be part of it every single day. Being president is an opportunity to support the really terrific learning and teaching of other people. So it's like an extension of what I did when I was a professor long ago. And so it's about helping students find their passion, pursue their passion. It's about helping students also develop a plan B, because we should all have a plan B in life. I mean, do you have a plan B?
Do I have a plan B?
I mean, we hope you're not going anywhere, but do you have a plan B?
I do.
It's good for us all to have one.
I do. Yeah.
So if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
If I weren't at Shenandoah doing advocacy work, I would be on a stage and hopefully like Broadway or company management in that capacity. Yeah. Because I come from the church upbringing, and then that's where I discovered my voice. And then I started to just kind of have fun with it. And I was mimicking a lot of people. And I was like, oh my gosh, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston in the earlier days of Beyonce. And I was like, I have this high-pitched voice. And so I would always actually have other people's voices in my head. I never knew my own back then. I was hearing other people's voices. And that sounds pretty crazy. But it was this sense of music lives inside of me. And because of my ability to listen and to discern how I wanted to sort of clarify or play with what was being released, was how I discovered that I loved to sing. And it was like music found me. So
it's so beautiful.
Look.
And I love the idea of also that you had to find your voice. And that's literally, but also metaphorically, right? It's what we have to do. And so as president here at Shenandoah, the voices of the students, of the faculty and staff, of the community members, of society, those voices are in my head all the time. And in the midst of all that, you have to find your own voice, right? Your own rhythm, your own values. But I think it's really good that the voices live inside of us. They make us all better.
They do. Well, being the first woman to lead Shenandoah University is both historic and symbolic. Were there moments early in your presidency where you felt that weight, and how did it influence your leadership style? So loaded.
It's a loaded question. My goal is to be the best president that I can possibly be for Shenandoah at this time. And certainly that's informed by being a woman. Right? There are things you can't unknow or unlive. So when I got pregnant with the twins, there were a number of people that said, well, I guess now you'll stay home and take care of the kids. And I was like, No. I plan to show back up for work in a couple weeks again. Things like that. It just reminds you that people have, they have ideas of what it means to be a woman. At that point, I was a young woman, and they had expectations, and that they're not mine. And so for me, it was, how do I do my path, do what I think is right for me, and serve the institution as well as I can, while also raising kids. So I think that I was raised in a family that loves education, that thinks it is what provides opportunity. That's how it worked for my parents. Now, it is not the be-all and end-all, but it really does give people a chance to pursue their dreams. And if we can find the time and the resources, and both of those are key, right? And all families can't do that, and we try our best to create access for all at Shenandoah. If we can find time to do that, it makes all of us better human beings, to be better informed. It makes us better voters, better citizens, more successful in what we do. But that's not possible for everyone, and we need to be mindful of that in society. I hope that as a woman, as a mother, that I think with compassion about all people and try and respect people, or love people, if you were, where they're at, help them get to where they want to be. But I didn't feel like I was carrying the burden of all of womanhood to be the first president of Shenandoah. Like, I think they did their best to pick who they thought would be the best person for that time. And I hope I have fulfilled their goals and met the needs of the institution. I love it. We're doing great things. But I'm also mindful that, yes, okay, so now we've had the first woman, but there's a lot of firsts that Shenandoah still hasn't had.
Absolutely.
And so, to the extent possible, my job is to help pave the way so that this is a place that's welcoming to everyone.
Absolutely.
At all levels.
I love that you mentioned the time and resources, knowing that you had to discover the idea of, yes, I'm a woman, and that's historic and symbolic, but I also was the most qualified at that time for the job. And that's really important. I think that sometimes we say the first of this to sort of make you represent a whole demographic of a people or of a community.
Or that it's checking a box.
Or that it's checking a box. And the fact that you're like, no, I love that that's historic and symbolic, but I also recognize that I was qualified and I'm here with purpose and intention. And so I think that that is something that we can continue to lead with, of knowing that we'll have a lot of first, but we'll also be the ones who will be ensuring that we walk into spaces and grow and learn and process and deliver and give what we have to offer in those moments at those times.
You're so right. And one of the beautiful things about Shenandoah is that it creates pathways for people to stay here at Shenandoah. So often in higher education, we kick people out of the nest. Oh, that's really nice that you want to do X, but we force you to leave in higher ed and go someplace else. But here at Shenandoah, if someone wants to stay here, we do our very best to create opportunities for them within. And that happens in lots of different positions. So we've had custodians that have moved out of physical plant into other staff positions. We have individuals who have come here as administrative assistants and have become deans over time. And part of that is that Shenandoah helps people develop their skills and their passions. Part of it is we don't think you have to go out of the nest to learn and do great things. And part of it is that we allow people that work here to get an education for free. And so they get to develop themselves in lots of ways. Why would we want to kick them out? It's so great to have people stay and they understand the history of Shenandoah and the direction, and they believe in this place. Got their degree here. Why would we not want them to stay if we can offer them an opportunity that they're looking for? And if we can't, then I feel like it's incumbent upon us to help them find their dreams elsewhere.
I agree. I've been able to personally witness that because I was a graduate student and I was in Res Life. And I went from Res Life to now having a full-time role in the Office of Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity. And within that role, as the Assistant Director of the Mosaic Center for Diversity, I also am an adjunct faculty. So as you're mentioning, I'm able to sort of live in the reality of being faculty, staff, and a former student. And I'll be walking this May. So
I get to give you your diploma. I love that. Yes, as Shenandoah has grown, you've grown. So many of us have.
Mm-hmm. In your view, what makes a university feel transformational rather than transactional?
I'm not sure that it's the institution itself. It's what you believe in terms of how you support students, right? This isn't just you go sit in class, participate in class, and there's your diploma. This is a place that asks a lot of students, right? We ask them to engage across difference. We ask them to question themselves. We ask them to push themselves beyond where they thought their boundaries were. We ask them to take classes that they might not always want to take, right? Because that's a reflection of life. You have to learn things beyond just what your immediate passion is. And so I think we do a great job of meeting students wherever they are. And they come in lots of places across the spectrum, but we move them to where their joys are, where their passions are, what their goals are. And I think that's the transformational piece, that they get towards their goals, but they do it in a way that changes them as a whole person. We're not looking just to educate them in a classroom, but to give them opportunities in a laboratory, on a stage, in clinical rotations, to connect them with extraordinary learning experiences, travel experiences. It's also a place where we ask them to talk across political and social differences. We ask them to meet people who didn't grow up in any way similar to the way they did, and to find a way to respect them. You don't have to love each other, but you have to respect each other and treat each other with compassion. This is a place where we don't have any space for hate. And I think that's really important in society. And so, okay, you can be momentarily frustrated, anger. You can deep down have a burning desire to change society. It doesn't have to turn into hate. And so we ask people to transform their raw emotions into doing something good for society. And our faculty and staff lead that. So many of them have had transformational experiences here at Shenandoah. They have incredible stories to tell, and they share those with our students.
I find in communicating and connect with my peer advocates that is something that I continually share with them. Is so many people speak about it takes a village to raise a child, right? But they often forget that it takes a global village to raise a nation. And they also forget that the reality of knowing that when we say it takes a village, nobody wants to be a villager. And being a villager means being in community, being in connection and learning and growing from other people. And knowing, for me, I often suggest that there's this thought of how are we focusing on our humanity, the principles and values of the human condition, and how are we connecting with one another? And if a person has a different perspective and opinion than you, how do we meet them where they are and not where we want them to be? And focus literally, it's kind of like my mom has a PhD in psychology and behavioral sciences, and I drive that woman absolutely crazy. And so I would call her with all of my foolishness, and she would have to calm me down to remind me that in situations, like let's say, I had a concern, right? And I had a issue or whatever may have you. There was language that my mom taught me how to use that I think has been so beautiful. She would say things like, could you help me better understand? How would you like me to respond to that? Could you help me better understand your perspective when you said da 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 da? And instead of attacking the individual, you speak about the perspective itself as if it's a separate entity. And then the individual doesn't necessarily feel as attacked. And
I want to meet your mom.
Oh, she's coming to my graduation.
Okay, I'll meet
So we'll
her
have to
then.
make sure.
She sounds so wise. And I bet you don't drive her crazy. I bet she's so proud of you.
I hope so. I think she is. She, at my graduation, at the one of my recitals, it was a Mother's Day recital. I played this recording in the beginning, and it was her recording. She left a voicemail for me, and it was the most beautiful thing. And the funniest thing is when it started, my sister had to tell her, "That's you." Like she
didn't even recognize her own voice.
She was like, "That's you," and she was like, "That is me." And immediately before I sing my first song, I see my mom in the first row right there crying. And I was like, I cannot start this recital like that. So I hope you do get a chance to meet my mom, because she truly is an incredible woman.
I would love that. You know, Seiko, something that you just said I loved when you were talking about it takes a global village to raise a nation.
Quote me on that. That's me.
It does. It's beautiful. And you're absolutely right. And it is hard work.
It is.
And you said nobody wants to be a villager. Maybe because it's hard work. Maybe because we talk nonstop about training leaders. Well, everybody gets to lead in one way or another in their life. But the rest of the time, we are all villagers. Every one of us, right? And that's an important role as well. And we have to embrace that role, figure out where we're going to lead and where we're going to be villagers, good, solid citizens, right? And that's just doing the hard work. Hopefully it's the hard work of a democracy.
Correct. I'm with you, full scale. For me, I think that leaders also have to have this sense of followership. And so when I was in the military, that was something that I quickly learned, is that great leaders understand followership. And so when they tell me to look to my front, my brothers are looking from my back. And that's where my brain is always saying to my peer advocates, to my colleagues, my closest friends, I have this motherly nurturing energy where I'm always telling them that if we have the right people surrounding us and we're in community and connection with others, there are some times where we are looking to our front and we have our community members looking from our backs. And not to say that, they're behind us and that you're in front of them, nothing like that. It's just more or less that sometimes when we have those trust falls, or we have moments where life kind of has us at a pause, or we're growing and we're learning, or we feel like we have fallen and we have to get back up, they're incredible humans who will help us understand that great leaders really understand followership as well. So
there's a really beautiful poem by Benedetti, and it says, it's in Spanish, but it says, and in the streets, shoulder to shoulder or elbow to elbow, we are much more than two. So it's like that, right? We've got somebody in front of us, somebody behind us, somebody on the sides. And sometimes we're packed in tight, and then we're literally holding each other up because we can't fall. Sometimes we're going in this direction, but we're going to switch and we're going to go in that direction. So we're following different people, different days.
That's right.
But as long as the goal's honorable, as long as we're in it together, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. If Shenandoah's next 25 years had a title like a book or documentary, what would you want it to be called?
Oh, if it had a book or a documentary, The University, 25 years from now. Oh, how about something like, I think this is one of those moments that somebody in late night TV would have something really funny to say.
Go ahead.
I don't. No, I just think about something like, building a legacy for the good of society. Something, it sounds boring, but it has the right sentiment.
There can be meat there. Like the title introduces the thought, and then the meat is found in the actual
right.
book. Or the documentary in this case.
Yeah.
What do you think authentic belonging on a college campus looks like to you beyond the language of diversity statements?
Yeah, that's on paper. It's important to have, but it's just on paper. As long as we don't welcome hate, I think that it means that truly people who are very different from each other and vehemently disagree all have a place. And we can't lose sight of that, because it's not about what's important on a college campus per se, it's what we need in democracy. And we keep losing sight of it. And I don't just mean now, I think we have had lots of periods over the last 20 years where we have lost sight of that. And that's so hard, because it's so much nicer when everybody around us agrees with us. It's just so much more comfortable. We all laugh and nod. We all joke about the same things, right? We talk about what our dreams are, and we're marching in the same direction. But that doesn't make us better as a society or as a university. We've been together in staff meetings or in faculty meetings, and there's always a handful of people that are the first ones to ask questions. And sometimes in the faculty meeting, for example, I'll literally say, okay, are there any questions? And I'll turn to a faculty member, this particular faculty member, and I say, what's your question? And, people will laugh a little bit, but it's because it's important for those questions of of concern, of frustration. It's important that the people who want to push or disagree get that voice. And so, people will go, oh, and I'm like, no, this is a good thing. Even if you're going to disagree with me or with Shenandoah, go ahead. Like, it makes us all better. And when we talked earlier about the voices that we all have in our head, like, those are voices that then live on. So when I'm writing an email late at night, or somebody says, we need a decision and we need a decision right now, we don't have time to go to the faculty senate or the staff council, at least those voices of dissent are in my head. And, when I make a mistake with a decision, it's my fault. But at least I've made the mistake, having thought about what others would hope that Shenandoah would do. And I just think that when you belong at a university, that doesn't mean that everything is always comfortable. And it doesn't mean you're going to like everyone. It doesn't mean everybody's going to make you feel welcome. It does need to mean that you've never experienced hate at the institution. But there's a difference there. And so we have to get comfortable with what it means to belong while we don't always agree, while we don't always see things the same.
I love that recurring theme of you making sure that people and myself understand that hate is not welcome. And the difference I like to share is it's a difference for me to say that I believe that apples are better than oranges. That's an opinion, right? But to tell someone that I believe that they shouldn't exist or that they don't belong, that's different language. That's completely separate from apples and oranges. And another beauty is I was watching this interview with Michelle Obama, and she said this beautiful thing. She says, when we're in a position of going into the world to discover ourselves, to get education, to find out who we believe that we are, what we believe that we want. She says the reality is, come back home. We like you here. The world may not like you. The world may not love you. The world may not agree with you. But come back home. We like you here. And
that's very Shenandoah.
That is.
Maybe she was describing Shenandoah.
Maybe she was. I think we have to borrow that.
But it's true. And the thing is that Shenandoah hasn't said that just recently. We haven't started acting that way just now, or just 3 or 4 years ago. We've been saying that for years and years and years. All the voices belong here. People are going to disagree. You, Democrat, may not like what this Republican says. This Republican is not going to like what this Democrat says necessarily. Even on the extremes. But your voices belong as long as you're not devaluing the other person as a human being.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
You can really think that person's wrong, but believe they should have equal access to opportunities.
I completely agree.
It's hard. It's so easy to say it, right? It's hard in the moment. Sometimes.
It is. Well, I think that what it is sometimes we're in positions of power and we're trying to balance a perspective that we hold in our own company and then a perspective that we have in leadership. And it's not to suggest that we're not being authentic in leadership, but it's to suggest that what you're saying is that we're being mindful of the team that we have, the community that we're serving. And because there are moments where there are individuals who believe that they are uplifting communities that they're actually impoverishing. And so as we listen to that language, there are individuals who believe that they are uplifting and pouring into communities that they're actually impoverishing.
Which is sort of a patronizing attitude.
It is.
Right?
It is.
But the question is, do we explain that to those folks?
And how do we explain that to those folks?
Sometimes I think we err in society because we assume that people need to figure that out on their own. And yes, okay, in the perfect world they will. But sometimes, that's what we're about. We're about education.
Well, we're getting closer to the end of our time together because I want to be respectful of your space. How do you define legacy? Not just for yourself, but for an institution like Shenandoah?
Oh gosh, we should have the legacy class in the business school here to talk about that. Have you ever talked to those students? They're amazing. And they've really thought about legacy. And so at Shenandoah, I think the idea of legacy, in many institutions and places, they think about in the future looking back, right? but that kind of lets us off the hook.
It does.
For the present.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like legacy is doing the very best that we can in the moment for the good of society. And society isn't just the people that we know. It's not just the people who are like us, but it's the people who are very different from us. It's people we'll never get to see or meet or know by name or face, but we're looking after each other. When we're doing the best in terms of legacy, that's it.
I love that.
That's very Shenandoah.
Now I have a fast round for you. Are you ready?
Oh, no. Okay. You going to ask me to name another book or movie?
Well, something like that. Okay, we got you. So, a hidden talent most students probably don't know.
Do you have like a hidden camera in that thing?
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, a hidden talent most students probably don't know about you.
Salsa dancing.
Salsa dancing.
I love to salsa dance, and I'm not so bad at it.
One word you would use to describe Shenandoah.
On the move.
On the move.
Oh, that's more than one, isn't it? On fire. That's fewer words, but still not. Rising.
Right. If your presidency had a theme song, what would it be?
I Will Survive. Gloria Gaynor. I Will Survive, meaning Shenandoah will survive, not me. Right.
What is your go-to pump-up song before a big meeting?
I Will Survive. Or anything by 440.
Okay. Can I hear a little bit of it? Just a little bit?
No, I do not sing.
Okay.
I do in the shower. I do when I'm walking alone, but certainly not in front of you, the expert.
Oh, please. Window seat or aisle seat?
Windows, so I can work, and then curl up and sleep.
There we go. Favorite season of the academic year? Move-in day, homecoming, commencement, or finals week?
Why didn't you offer me graduation?
That's why.
Graduation is definitely it. The whole week of graduation, not just commencement ceremony, but the whole week of graduation.
There we go, the whole week of graduation. Beach vacation or mountain retreat?
Hiking or walking in the mountains.
Hiking or walking in the mountains. There we have it, President Tracy. You have survived my craziness, and it's been a joy sitting down with you today. Thank you again for sharing your space and time with me, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds.
I love the person that you are.
Thank you. You might give you a hug.
Please.